The Little Mermaid. At the bottom of the deep, deep sea, there was a mermaid kingdom inhabited by many mermaids, and in the castle, there were the king and 6 mermaid princesses living there. The youngest mermaid princess, Celine, was very popular all around the kingdom, as she was the most beautiful of the 6 princesses. In the kingdom, mermaids were permitted to swim up to the sea surface once they turned 15. Celine was hearing a lot of stories from her sisters, such as birds flying in the sky and human beings on ships, and it kept her longing every day to turn 15 already and go to the surface. And finally, Celine turned 15. She was absolutely overjoyed. In the evening, shortly after the ceremony held in honor of her birthday, Celine rose up to the sea surface. It was her first time seeing the world above the sea. While Celine was gazing up admiringly at the night sky full of stars, suddenly, fireworks rose up with a big booming sound. Colorful fireworks beautifully lit up the night sky. When Celine, who was sitting on the rocks by the shore, looked the other way, there was a large ship floating on the sea. She distantly overheard the sound of lovely music and tried to swim up to the ship quietly without being seen. There was a young man looking at the sea from the upper deck. That young man was a prince from a nearby kingdom. That day was the prince's birthday, and a big party was being held on the ship. At first sight, Celine fell in love with the young human who she saw for the first time. However, as it became late at night, the sea was gradually getting rougher with a sudden thunderstorm. Suddenly, the ship was heavily shaken by a gust of wind. At that moment, the prince slipped off and was thrown into the sea. Although the prince cried for help desperately, nobody up there was aware that the prince fell into the sea. Celine immediately swam to the prince to save him. She dove into the sea and found the fainted prince, and then carried him to a nearby cove's beach. Celine laid him down on the beach and was watching his sleeping face for a while. And as soon as she felt someone approaching, she gave a goodbye kiss on the prince's cheek and returned back to the sea. Right after Celine dove back into the sea, a young girl found the prince on the beach and helped him up in her arms. Celine, back in the mermaid kingdom, stopped going out, shutting herself in her room since that day. Her sisters were worried about her and visited her room to talk to her, but Celine kept silent with her head down. One night, several days after that, Celine finally told her feelings to the oldest sister, Lola. "Sister, I want to be human. I want to be human and go see that person." "What do you think you're saying? Becoming human is absolutely impossible." Lola and the other sisters tried hard to cheer Celine up, but over time, her deep feelings for that prince grew stronger and stronger, and Celine got less and less lively. One night, when everyone in the castle went to sleep, Lola showed up at Celine's room. "What is it, sister? At this hour of the night?" "Listen, Celine, there might be a way for you to become human." "Really? Please tell me, sister." "Be quiet. This can't be overheard by anybody. There is a fearfully powerful witch living in a cave in the Western Sea. With help from that witch, perhaps you can become human. But I don't know how dangerous it could be. You might not be able to come back here ever again." "I am fine with that. I will visit that witch and ask her to turn me into a human." "Thank you so much, my sweet sister. I will never forget you and everyone in the castle." "Farewell, Celine, my little sister." Even though she had to struggle through a strong sea storm and was chased by a fierce shark on her way to the witch's cave, Celine finally made it there. When Celine stepped into the witch's chamber deep inside the cave, the witch glared at Celine with sharp eyes.
"Oh dear, cute little girl, what are you doing in a place like this?"
"Miss Witch, please turn me into a human. I would do anything to be human."
"Anything?"
The witch grinned a hideous smile.
"You wish to make a pact with a witch. You must be prepared for it, right?"
"Yes, of course."
"All right. I will turn you into a human then."
"Really? Thank you very much."
"You have a beautiful voice. I will take away that voice in exchange for making you human."
"Okay. I will give you my voice."
"It's a deal. Just hold on a sec there."
The witch mixed some mysterious ingredients in the chamber and made a purple liquid and then poured it into a bottle.
"If you drink this potion, your finned tail will become 2 legs."
"Thank you so much. With this, I can make my dream come true."
"Yes. However, you only have a month. If you cannot kiss the prince within a month, your body will vanish like foam. Take this potion if you can risk that."
"Okay, I am ready for anything." Celine took the bottle from the witch and immediately headed to the beach of the cove where she parted with the prince before. She crawled onto the beach, and as soon as she drank up the potion in the bottle, she felt terrible pain in her tail. And then Celine fainted there. Celine woke up being shaken by somebody.
"Hey, are you all right? What happened to you?"
The one there was that young man she was in love with all this time. Although Celine tried to respond to him, she couldn't speak for her voice was taken away by the witch.
"Oh, so you can't speak. Poor girl. Why don't you come to my castle for now? My name is Eric."
Eric carried Celine in his arms to the castle and gave her her own room, as well as fancy clothes. From that day, Celine began to serve him. Celine was very happy every day. At a ball party held in the castle, she also performed her splendid dance for Eric. Even if she was feeling terrible, stabbing pain every time her feet touched the floor, she could bear any pain and suffering to be with Eric. Celine continued to lead such a joyful life for about 3 weeks. One night, Eric invited Celine into his room and gave her a strong embrace. And then,
I love you so much. I trust you from the bottom of my heart. So I have something that I want to tell you only. I have this woman in mind. She rescued me from drowning in the sea. She is a mere town girl, but I will propose to her tomorrow morning.
upon hearing that, Celine was startlingly shocked. Eric didn't know that the one who saved his life was Celine. There was no way for voiceless Celine to tell him the truth, and the only thing she could do was to go back to her room and shed tears alone. There were only a few days left before the deadline given by the witch. The next day, the engagement between that woman and Eric was decided. Celine must have been heartbroken to hear the news. The hope that Eric and Celine will be together was gone for good. The final night for Celine to stay human was the day when the wedding party for Eric and the woman was going to take place. Many people attended their wedding party held on a ship, and Eric and his fiancée were joyfully dancing. They looked really happy. Celine, on the other hand, was looking up at the stars alone, leaning on the ship rails, apart from the crowd. She will disappear into foam if she can't kiss Eric tonight. Even if I'm not on his mind, I am fine as long as I can serve him. That's enough for me, but... Celine breathed a deep sigh.
What's the matter? Are you seasick already?
Someone behind her said suddenly. It was Eric. Eric put his arms on Celine's shoulders and said this, looking into her eyes.
I am very thankful to you for serving for me up until today. Please stay near me for the rest of my life.
Eric hugged Celine tight.
Please come over when you feel better and show us your graceful dance.
Eric turned around and went back to the party. At that moment, big drops of tears fell from Celine's eyes as she watched his back. I can't. It breaks my heart to think of him. I can't live without telling him my feelings. Finally, Celine made up her mind. Before long, fireworks shot into the night sky. Farewell, Eric. I love you more than anyone. Celine jumped into the sea, remembering the night when she first met Eric. Celine slowly sunk down to the bottom of the sea, and her body gradually dissolved into foam, returning to the sea where she was born and raised.